playoff basketball for a while, getting him back-to-back. Guarded by Alexander Walker. Murray shaking free, flicking out. Jokic on the move into Gobert, and Jokic plopped it there for a moment. Just 21 years old. Edwards an all-star this season. Gobert off the lob from Conley. That's the Conley with some haste. Will peel back and fire. He got it.
Injury where they were sitting on a bus in San Francisco after a game against Golden State, and Jamal actually asked him, "Are you guys going to trade me?" And Coach Malone said, "Absolutely not." As Jamal Murray, I'm still the same guy, Ryan.
Yeah, it's a terrific story, George, that Michael Malone shared as Alexander Walker buries the corner.
And outstanding this season.
Gordon barrels in, Euros, can't twist it home, but how about Porter Jr.? Conley right back into the arms of Edwards. He will fire and hit. Talked about having to just shoot at a higher percentage to avoid that. As Gobert denies Jokic. But it'll count, a goaltend. Atmosphere at Target Center. Towns being hugged by Gordon. Now trying to give it back to him. Towns with limbs go. Failure. The Minnesota Lynx have been their only saving grace for a long time. Epic postseason losses or dormant times of year. 1914 star for Minnesota. Porter Jr. gets to the rack.
And diving to the basket there with the cut off the dribble penetration.
8 points, 4 rebounds in this opening quarter for Gobert. Jokic connects on a thing that Michael Malone pointed out to us before the game. How impressed he's been with how vocal Caldwell Pope has been as Brown floats it in. Guarded by Anderson. Floats to Green. Green attacks. Jokic there for the Nuggets run. Towns, little push shot is good. Oddly left on the delivery. Edwards to the corner for Prince. Another try. That one's good.
Brian.
Very cool stuff, George. And a happy birthday to Brendan Malone, who JJ is very familiar with, as Gordon banks it in, plus the foul, a chance for Denver. Bruce Brown, a Swiss Army knife off the bench to the rack for 2. Time playoff performer over the last couple of seasons. Towns, he needs it. Minnesota in this series against Denver.
Well, one thing to note is that in this series, the backup center has been Aaron Gordon, and they didn't do that during the regular season as Towns scores.
Off the glass, bounces for Green, into the corner, Brown, another look. That one is good. Now broadcast of these games and the pure joy and excitement the NBA playoffs bring you, because it's really the best. It's the best. Conley knocks down the 3. Bruce Brown amongst 3 Timberwolves grabs the rebound, and Caldwell Pope cashes in.
So valuable. We've seen that specifically with PJ Tucker in that Sixers Nets series. Bruce Brown, another guy, as
Chris Finch just tries to put his starting 5 together without Jaden McDaniels, who fractured his right hand punching a wall at the end of the regular season, is called for Murray. Michael Malone talks about that all the time. When Murray's at his best, it's not just his scoring, it's filling up the stat sheet. As Edwards just goes right around.
The 2-man game between Murray, as Murray hits the pull-up 3. Jokic set a screen all.
Now Edwards running the break, Euros, and finishes. A sensational, another turnover from Denver. Towns looking to take advantage and does. Huge. 5 to shoot. Conley debating what to do. He'll attack, float, and hit. Now pushing pace for Denver. Caldwell Pope connects, banking it home. Huge first half.
This team, you couldn't ask for a better fit around Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic, a guy who can guard the perimeter.
Soda can hold for 1. Edwards doesn't want to and lays it in.
Which allowed Minnesota to get back in that game. Gordon with the early 3 as Towns. He does so many things well. He can knock down shots in the half court. That's an added bonus.
Murray out to Jokic, wide open. He got it. Jokic has always had strong clutch time stats in the regular season as well. Here he goes to work on Gobert. Great decision. Fine. Last night we saw that big time with Brooklyn and Philly. Here's Edwards. Crab dribbling with strength and just 15 for the 21-year-old star Edwards. Porter Jr. on another three. And I'm sure Manhattan will be very tame tonight in the aftermath of that.
Big Mom.
Porter Jr. able to
Bounce.
Part of the struggle with him and Gobert, and that fit. Noel can't bunny hop into two. Gobert.
Particularly by Anthony Edwards on that face cut. Does a good job of pushing him out.
As Gordon, eyes up. Here's Porter Jr. Tried a little give and go. Green was left alone, waits, and hits plus the foul. You talked about the right veterans for this Denver team. As Edwards banks it in, getting frustrated after that call against Alexander Walker. Here's Brown jittering into the paint and floating it in.
But that series overall, we've seen 3 outstanding basketball games.
Edwards slips through and lays it in.
Give him a lot of credit. We don't see that a lot.
Edwards using the Gobert screen will pull and hit. Poor decision from Kyle Anderson, who's a trusted quarterback of this Minnesota offense. Here's Green alone in the corner. He got it. It for a prolonged period of time with Jokic on the bench with 4 fouls. 2 for 1 here, and Murray splashes another. Back off to Murray. Murray spins, fades, and hits. Jamal Brown closed quickly. Towns, a little sloppy with the handle, able to get it off to Anderson though. Edwards connects! 3. An early timeout in this quarter for Michael Malone after a couple of turnovers to begin the frame for the Nuggets. Brown finds Christian Brown somehow. 96-91. Porter Jr. He got it on a 3.
Gets a foot on it.
Edwards through the lane, lays it in. It's another 30-point tap. Porter Jr. able to alter. Brown finds Christian Brown, who lays it in. Oh, and a turnover here. Porter Jr. off and running with Christian Brown to the rack.
Go upstairs and read.
All right. Here's Jokic. Spinning, tossing, and finishing.
Is incredibly difficult to defend.
18 points for Jokic. Towns, he got it. Entire NBA on ESPN crew, appreciate you hanging out with us. Been a fun game 3 in Minnesota. Denver 2-0 series lead. The lob to Gordon from Jokic.
On the play, when Edwards tried to attack, he beat him, then he got the basketball from behind.
Murray's made a couple of pesky defensive plays in this 4th. Here's Murray behind the back. Jokic too pretty. Gordon wisely peels back. Jokic to the corner. Porter Jr. will take, you bet, a dagger. Towns laid it in. Up ahead to Porter Jr. He attacks and lays. A huge game for Mike. And these fans witness another Minnesota team dropping a playoff game. As that will do it, the Denver Nuggets take a commanding